everyone. Welcome to Let's Chat on Sunday. You can see I have Teri from Holding Your Space. Hi, Teri.
Hi, Kim. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much for having me on again.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for coming on. And we thought that it might be really fun today, since it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. To bring in, using mediumship, bring in people's moms. So if you want to hear from your mom on Mother's Day, I don't know what you need, Teri. Usually I just need a first name. We already know it's their mom, but you could just say like stepmom if it's something else, or aunt if it's like a mom figure, you can say that. But usually I just need the first name, the relationship, and then just how long they've been gone. But do you need anything else, like their birth date or anything like that?
No, that's great.
Okay.
That it's their mom, and if there's a name, that'd be great too. That always helps.
Okay. So yeah, just the I just like the first name. It just helps me to concentrate, or kind of put my concentration someplace specific, and have them come in. And yeah, so moms today. So Teri, tell me about your mom. What was your mom like, or what is your mom? Is your mom still living?
No, she passed away when I was 26. She passed away quite young. She was 56, I think. And she had been in Germany during the Holocaust and came over as a refugee to America with her mom and her sister and brother. And she was an executive secretary for Pillsbury.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. So do you have lots of Pillsbury stuff in your house?
I do. I've got the Pillsbury Doughboys, little rubber things, and then also the salt and pepper shakers.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and she was into metaphysics, so I was lucky.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And did she practice anything? Did she practice like meditation or mediumship or anything like that?
Meditation. She did a little bit of intuitive things. She held a weekly book party for the Melchizedek principles for a while.
Oh wow.
And mostly she loved just reading about it and finding out about it. And any time she'd see me or one of my friends, she'd hold us down and read a page or two. And it was like, oh God, Mom. But now I love it that she did that.
I bet. Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah. What about your mom?
My mom was she was kind of super mom. In a lot of ways, she was kind of super mom. She was of that generation where she was meant to take care of the household and all. She had 5 daughters, and my dad traveled all the time, and she was involved in all our school stuff, and she drove everywhere, and she had a perfect, immaculate home, and she was a good cook, and she was involved in church stuff, and so she was super mom. She really, really was. She would have angry outbursts every once in a while. I can't imagine why.
Right.
She was great. She had a great sense of humor, and she suffered a lot from a lot of feeling guilty, feeling not worthy. I think a lot of things came from the church, and even though she did everything perfectly, wasn't quite perfect enough, so she was kind of a perfectionist, but she was wonderful. And as she got older, she really mellowed a lot. She was a lot more easygoing and rolled with the punches and that kind of thing. So we really got 2 versions of her, a younger version and an older version. But amazing lady, amazing. Yeah. So, well, good. It sounds like we had great moms.
Yeah, definitely. My mom was also really into herbs, and her father had been a homeopathic doctor. So we were kind of raised around all that. But it's interesting how our moms shape us. Because when I think about you, Kim, I always think about you talking about being present no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing housework.
Right.
So when I'm doing housework and I'm trying to think, okay, I can get over this. How soon? And then I'm like, I'm going to be present like Kim. So I love that you know, I feel like that's a real connection to your mom now.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's why there were certain house chores she really loved to do. And I think that's why. I think she could kind of just zone out and kind of be in the moment and let things go. And I never understood it as a kid. How could you enjoy housework? But as an adult, I mean, and now especially, for sure, I could see that. Uh, I was going to ask too, I recently, with all the stuff going on in the country at the moment, I have been every so often I'll think, I'm so glad she's not here to see this, because she had a lot of strong memories of World War II, a lot of, she was a kid at the time, but she remembers her being so fearful and being so worried. And I just thought, I'm so glad she's not here to see what's happening, even though I feel like we'll make it through. We're going to make it through. But the day to day, I think have been so disturbing and so hard for her. Have you thought about, especially with your mom having, left, kind of escaped? So
I thought a lot about it. I didn't know I was Jewish on her side until I was 18. It was a highly kept secret, and I've kind of come out of the shadows of that now. I'm like,
oh,
it's
interesting.
okay. I raised Catholic and Jewish blood, and kind of
Yeah,
fun. But anyway, yeah. So that was always top secret. They were always really concerned about people knowing about that. My grandmother had the numbers on her arm
really.
being in a camp. So, yeah,
Wow.
she just would have been so fearful. I agree. I'm glad she's not here. Though we know they're here, but
Exactly.
yeah.
In the physical though, yeah, I'm glad that they're seeing it from another perspective, because I'm sure that it would be, so much easier. But yeah, I often think I'm glad she's not here
Yeah.
to see this, because it would have been really disturbing and upsetting for her.
Yeah.
Um, so welcome everybody. I just wanted to just say hi to different, and it looks like people that I don't recognize. So I think that they're from your community probably.
Yay.
So yay.
The tribe.
Welcome everybody. We're so glad you're here. We're going to be doing mediumships for moms today. And so I'm going to go up to the first one. And as I was saying earlier, we're just kind of gabbing while everybody gets on. What did I do? That you can just leave your mother's first name. And if it's something other than mother, that would be helpful for me, like if it's an aunt or like a mother figure, your relationship to them. But if you just put a name, we'll just assume it's mom. First name, how long they've been gone, and the relationship. That's it. So Michelle, please, can I please have a message from my mom, Isabel, in spirit? I have now lived half my life without her, 27 years. Yeah, I feel that with my dad. Same thing, Michelle. It's so hard. Isabel. So Michelle, she comes across to me like she's I almost want to say like small but mighty. So I don't know if she was little, or if she just was maybe demure and was stronger than people thought. I'm not really sure, but that's the feeling. I feel like there's a real she has a very tough spirit. I feel like she was one of, like, unflappable, that kind of a person, but kind of a dynamo in a way.
She said, yeah, she was petite.
She was petite. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because she kind of like a little, I just feel, and I feel like she would have been very, very protective of you. protective of anyone she loved is kind of how it comes across. What are you getting, Teri?
And she says, and she was tough.
She was,
Yeah, I'm getting, that's what I was kind of feeling, Michelle, was the steel magnolia kind of energy. Um, she's showing me 4 hearts inside a circle. So I think that might be your family unit.
Aw.
And then she's also showing me some beads. These could be pearls, and it could be a necklace, or it could be a bracelet that you have. And she wants you to know that she always felt loved and adored by you. So she definitely brings that energy into you too.
She's very excited to Michelle, that you're involved in spiritual things and that you're kind of evolving spiritually. That is very, I almost want to say the word like impressed. She's very impressed with you. And I feel like, I don't know how comfortable she would have been with this kind of thing, but I feel like she's very proud of you and very impressed with you, that you're kind of doing what you want to do in the spiritual sphere. I also feel like she needs you to know she hasn't missed anything. She's been there for everything. She hasn't missed anything. And so even though it seems like for you, she hasn't been here since, 27 years, she feels like, no, I'm here all the time. I'm always around. And I do feel like she's waiting for the family, is what it feels like. I feel like she's not going to kind of move from the area she's in until everybody's there. So she hasn't really moved on. At least that's the way I feel like, Teri. I feel like she has access, but I feel like she's kind of in, I don't know, like the astral plane, or kind of around close to Earth still, because I feel like she's waiting for certain people. Not that anyone's going to pass now, but she's kind of waiting and kind of just having a ball. I feel like she's really enjoying herself, though. She's happy, very happy.
Yeah. And Michelle, I don't know if that family unit is you and your brothers and sisters, or if that's that family of 4, but she put that big circle around the unit, the family of 4. And I do feel like she is waiting for everybody. And she's, her dad just passed away too, Michelle's dad.
November. Okay.
So
maybe that's why she's so close now too, is that she's kind of received your dad, and they're just there together, because it does feel like she's very happy right now.
Yeah, she's definitely there with that. Then she turned that big circle into like a big smiley face for you. So she is really happy about what you're doing, dear. There were 3 kids, including you, but 1 brother was a half brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Huh. Yeah. Maybe that was her, or maybe that was your dad and the 3.
I was thinking maybe that's who she left. Maybe it was 3 kids and the dad.
Yeah.
But that's so nice. It can be together. And, but yeah, she does see, and I think it is because she's so protective of the family. I think that's why she's waiting for everybody. So she'll just be there. But that's nice when they're in the astral plane, because they're so easy to contact and get in touch with. And when they kind of move out of that and kind of on to like the heavenly realms and things like that, it's a little harder. Maybe not for a medium, but it's harder for just people to kind of get those everyday like messages and things like that. It's like they're spaced further and further apart if they're farther away.
Yeah, it is. It's harder to get it. Yeah, and that's still magnolia energy that she brings in for you. It's like she's showing me a sword, one of Archangel Michael's swords. So I don't know if that you have something to do with Archangel Michael right now, Michelle, but I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
So
needing that energy, right?
Yeah.
That strength. Oh, that's nice. Well, I hope that was nice to hear from your mom, Michelle, and Barbara Berkman says, as I sit here alone on Mother's Day, you and me both, Barbara, by the way. Are you alone too, Teri? Are you with your family?
Well, my nephew is here, and so is my son,
Oh,
but
no.
I don't
That's
see them a lot because they're busy doing their thing.
oh.
Yeah, but we're together. That's good. I love it.
Nice. Well, yeah. So, Bart, as I say hello on Mother's Day, I sure would like a message from my mom, Nancy. Okay. Nancy for Barbara.
Barbara, did your mom wear glasses? Because she came forward with the figure 8, like eternity, like you guys have been together before, probably in other lifetimes. But also, then those turned into a pair of glasses. So this could just mean that she's watching you. Okay, yeah, she did have glasses. Yeah.
Okay.
She's also pointing to her heart space. So I don't know if this is a sadness or depression. Sometimes that can mean heart trouble while they were alive, or it can mean that, you know, sadness that something hurt them. She's got her eyes on you, young lady. She's like, just my mom used to do that too. She had a pair of glasses that would sit on the edge of her nose and she would peer down her nose. And this is kind of what she's showing me, that she's got her eyes on you right now.
She seems very smart. I'm not getting, I'm asking her if she worked outside the home. I'm not getting anything if she's answering me, but I feel like she was very bright. And quick, like quick. It could be quick sense of humor or quick witted, or just yeah, very, very quick with a retort or,
Yeah.
or quick with advice, or but there's something about her that seems like on top of it, quick. Yeah, I'm struggling with words, but yeah.
Yeah, like a little dry. My stepmom was like that. She was so quick-witted and so hilariously funny. But you had to get used to her. She wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Well, she was after you knew her, but she's also pointing out an animal. And Barbara is in the meditation tribe, and I know that you have a dog that's really close to you, but she's also pointing out a family animal. She was a housewife, but always had her opinions, she said, and yeah, she was bad.
Yeah, because she didn't quite answer me when I asked her. But I guess I should take that as a no. I didn't.
Yeah. She's really happy with what you've got going on, and she's really happy about it's either your animal or the animal that she had. Because I feel like they're over there together. Maybe it's one of your old animals.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
And she, Barbara, she knows that you've had some, that this time period has been hard for you, but she wants you to know that it's like, I'm your backup. I'm your backup. I'm right behind you. That you're not, yeah, I just got chills with that. You're not alone at all. And so to use your imagination, like to picture her, and that will help to kind of imagine like where she might be in the room, what she might say. Start with that, using your imagination to do that, because she's around you quite a bit.
Yeah, Barbara says she wasn't an animal lover like her, but tolerated them. I kind of feel like she's happy with your animal now because of the joy that you get from them, and maybe that's why she was drawing the animal for me. I feel like that your dog probably sees her all the time, Barbara.
she's like, the animals would kind of annoy her. She didn't like cleaning up after them. She didn't want to, it's like she didn't want to bother, kind of, but she can appreciate them differently now. But here I felt like it was kind of like, oh, animals.
I can just hear her saying, enough already.
Yeah, they're just a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was a clean freak. Yeah.
I think she could be a little bit prickly sometimes, not really like warm is kind of the way it comes across, but she feels like, because the way she almost comes across, I'll just say it, because it's just the way she comes across is a little bit like a librarian or something, kind of follow, like a rule follower, kind of that way. And I feel like that she might have come across as insensitive sometimes, but I feel like she sees things very differently now. So she wishes she could have let down her guard a little more, because all of her relationships would have been better. She can see that now. She can see it, but she said she had so many fears, and so many like kind of was afraid of being judged by other people, and so she had a lot of like things like that. And I feel like she didn't have the ability to sort of self-examine when she was here. She kind of just kept going, just keep going, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and so she kind of developed a kind of a toughness about her, and she wishes that she can see that was a hindrance now. At the time, it's like that was survival for her here, but now she can see that probably wasn't the best, because she didn't have really close relationships the way that she could have, or just closer than she did. So
yeah, she says, I understand what you're saying. You're correct.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. She's pointing out that your dog and you being close to your dog is like a big hug from her.
Oh.
So and she's also pointing out a blanket or something. So I don't know if she wants you to get a blanket to wrap up like a hug in, but something cuddly. And it took its toll on you, right, Barbara? Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, honey.
Oh.
Yeah, it's tough, man. If our birth parents came in knowing what we know now, what we're finding out now, right?
Right.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
If my kids, when they were born, if I would have known what I knew now.
Exactly. I mean, that's it. When you know better, you do better, and you can't act beyond your consciousness level. You just can't. That's where you are. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad we could connect you, Barbara. And it sounds like your mom is doing she's growing, on the other side. She's grown in the way that she's kind of looked at relationships and things like that. So I'm glad that we could connect with her today. That's so nice. And yeah, get it. We have loved the electric blankets. They're super warm and super cozy. So,
Oh.
Okay. Karen Conroy. I would dearly love to hear from my mom, Barbara. Today is 15-year anniversary of her. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Barbara.
Oh my goodness. I had a cousin that a woman, and she passed away. Her mother and her always had a very difficult relationship, and she actually passed away on Mother's Day. And I always thought it was just the weirdest, just an interesting thing I felt when that happened, I was like, oh, this was a learning experience for both of them. It had to be, because in some ways I felt like they were similar. There were some ways they were very similar, but they just never quite got along. They just were always kind of, and yet always trying to come together. But it was just always just like chalk and cheese, as they say. But it's so interesting with these, when people pass, I think is so, it's not an accident, right? It's so obvious that it's there for a reason, but it's so interesting, Karen, that your mom, now it's Mother's Day. She probably didn't pass maybe on Mother's Day that year. I don't know, maybe she did, but I just find that so interesting.
Yeah, just to be in the vicinity. I think so many of our loved ones pass around a big holiday.
Mm-hmm.
It's like strategic planning.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true. It's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Um, my mom used to always say that really, when you get to the other side, you honor the anniversary of walking out of your body, not so much as the anniversary of your birth on the planet, which is always interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Karen says when she actually passed, it was the day after Mother's Day.
Oh,
She made
okay.
it through my brother's birthday and Mother's Day, which was a great memory. And the very next day, she went into a coma.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She was surrounded by loved ones. It feels like, I don't know if she had a mom on the other side, but I feel like it was a mom, some sisters, some girlfriends, some cousins. It's like she's showing me she had a lot of support on the other side when she left.
And she has dogs with her, Karen. I don't know if they're your dogs, her dogs, a combination, but there's dogs, like plural dogs with her. And I feel like she's kind of like pushing them up front, like, look, they're here. They're all here. Yeah, I just got chills with that. So there's a definite like push to the dogs. That's so funny.
Yeah, when she started talking about her group on the other side, she showed me this, and it kind of the group, like all the different entities that are with her, but then it turned into like a bunch of grapes. So I don't know if she liked wine or but something to do with the grapes. The grapes of wrath. I don't know. Maybe that was a book that she liked, but
Interesting.
something to do with grapes.
Well, I always think of grapes as, I did a reading a long time ago, and I remember one of the scenes. She had asked about her. In fact, it was Lausanne. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but it was about her guides. She's talked about it on here. But her guides, I could see them eating grapes really, really slowly. And I remember that I felt like it was interpreted as to slow down in life and enjoy the flavor of life, basically. And so it could be something like that, where it's kind of like right, you think of wine and celebration, and those are the good things in life, right? Those are the fun things. So maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, and it does feel like it has a spiritual connotation, like
Right.
turning water into wine or
Right.
something. It feels like I don't know how she was here on the planet, Karen, but now, of course, she's just very ethereal. Her energy is very calm and kind and soft.
Nice. She also wants you to know that it was like, boop, she was out of her body. So I don't think she was in her body during the coma. I think she left as soon as that coma. I think she was gone. So just so you know, in case you wondered if she was there or just is suffering in any way. No, she's like, I was just boop, I was out and gone. So yeah. So she as soon as she went to sleep, she was out of her body. That was it.
Yeah. She said her sister passed the same day 4 years prior, that's telling, as well as another sister and parents. She once came to me telling me she had my dog. Only time I heard her. I tell my dogs when they pass to find Nana.
Oh, nice. Oh, she's got them. See, they're all here.
Yeah. Lots of animals.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. Anything else, Teri, for Karen?
Something to do with water or a shower. Like now the grapes are turning into water and flowing. Like this might be how hard you've worked in this lifetime, Karen, and where you're at now, because it's like I feel like because of your studies and because of your lineage that you've achieved something for them ancestrally, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I also feel like she had like you're surrounded. You have like a lot of people around you, Karen. You know,
Yeah.
I feel and animals apparently, but I feel like it's like she's not the only one. I want to make sure you know these people are here too. So everybody's surrounding you, Karen. You got a house full. Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful.
When I think of water too, I sometimes think of healing.
Oh, that's it. Bingo. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
When
that's
you
it.
said that, that's the first thing I thought of. I thought of it sounds like healing waters, or like holy water, that kind of thing. Kind of a healing element there.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah,
Okay.
when you said that, I just got a big
Okay, good. Yeah, sometimes it,
yeah. Yeah. She's also bringing up nectar of the gods. She kept saying that in my ear, so I have to say it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, good, Karen. I hope that helps. You hear from your mom.
Mhm.
Hi, Gina. Happy Mother's Day. Gina's going to help me with my new show on Thursday. She's going to do the kind of moderating in the background for
Wow.
me.
Okay, which show is this? Is this one of the books, or is
This is a Thursday show that I'm doing where I'm bringing in a famous person, and I kind of just do the channeling, and the chat kind of does the interview. So the first episode was Robin Williams, so we did that on Thursday, and then this Thursday we'll kind of vote every time to see who it's going to be. But it was really fun.
Okay, I want to come and watch.
Okay.
I love Robin Williams. He comes in all the time during meditation. He is just so high vibration.
Did you say he comes in all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking about that at the very beginning of the episode. I was saying that he apparently in life he did that too, or he would just kind of talk to random people. He just liked people. So, yeah, that's so funny though. I'm so glad to know that he comes in, that he comes into, other people too.
Yeah.
So I was always, yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, he is a very, it's not as phonetic as it was here, like his kind of, but it's still very, it's still fast. It feels like a fast, like, and he's funny. My sister talked to me after that show, and she's like, I was watching the Robin Williams episode, and she's like, I thought, you have a good sense of humor, and you say funny things, but that wasn't you. I'm like, I know it wasn't. It's like, that was really funny. I'm like, I know, it's not me.
Do you feel like he was kind of elemental in his energy? Because I always think of elementals as being.
It definitely was that kind of Peter Pan feel. I thought of like a just a very vibrant, and so maybe in that way, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
I think he's so cool. I love him, and I love Prince. Prince comes in a lot too.
He's come in a couple times for me, for other people, not for me, but for other people. But and his energy is, to me, is like, as soon as he walked in, he was just super cool, just like laid back, super cool. Everything's, he just had a very cool. That's what I can explain.
Rock solid.
Like very rock star for sure. Spirit Rock, hello and happy Mother's Day. Would love to hear from my mom, Anna, who passed 12 years ago. Is ANA, is that Anna or Anna?
I don't know. It sounds like Anna.
Yeah.
when you say that.
I think, yeah.
Spirit rock, is there somebody named Marie, or was that because she's bringing in a Marie or a Mary as well? I don't know if that was a middle name or somebody over there that's with her.
Oh, now that's weird because I'm hearing the song Ave Maria.
Maybe that's it.
So,
Maybe that's her. Yeah, that could have been her person on the other side.
yeah, I'm hearing the song Ave Maria.
I love that song. That's one of my favorites.
Me too. My aunt, her sister is Maria Christina, her sister.
Okay.
Is she still living, or is she telling us she's with her? Because if she's passed, then she's telling us they're together. But if she's still here, she's probably just reaching out to her.
Oh, she's with her.
She's with her. Okay, so yeah, so I guess you got both of them today.
They're showing me almost like a badge that you would wear, a big pin. And sometimes it looks like a movie. What's that called? A movie banner, or outside the theaters. That sign. It's kind of like that. And
a marquee.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. A marquee. Yeah, like a marquee. And that it kind of flashes for you, like it feels like you're aware of this, Spirit Rock, that they come in with a lot of energy for you sometimes.
Yeah, and just visiting said marquee as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like they're like laughing together, but they're in a kitchen. So I don't know if they were in the kitchen, or if they had coffee together, or if they cooked together, or I don't know. But I feel like they're in a kitchen and they're laughing and talking. And their chest, somebody just touched their chest. So one of them, either that for me is usually a heart, it could be breast cancer, it could be lungs, but it's usually something in the chest area. So they just did that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's bringing forward a necklace too.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe because I was touching my necklace when I said that. So yeah, it could be that. It could be both. It could be both Spirit Rock, or it could just be the necklace. They were trying to get me to go to my necklace.
Okay, she says, I see a lot of bright lights in my home. They love to cook. We did all the ones and that are on this side still cook. Maria had heart issues.
Okay. So maybe you were getting the necklace and I was getting the
Yeah.
And they want you to feel them when you cook and when you do things that they used to do together. And I feel like they want you to picture them there, or imagine them with you, or they are with you, but they want you to like imagine, to know they're there, and to imagine them with you because they're right there. Maria loved jewelry and had lots of it.
Yeah, she's saying, break it out, girl. So there is do you have an altar for them, Spirit Rock, or do you do something to acknowledge them on Day of the Dead, or because it feels like they're still showing me that marquee. So I don't know if this has something to do with the funeral, or has something to do with the cemetery and their stone, or something that you have in the house. but it feels like it's a beacon to them of your love, um, and your caring. So, and they just want to let you know that they acknowledge it, um, and they get a big kick out of it.
Oh, she said, yes, just like in Coco, I do have an altar. So,
Yeah,
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 great.
they're acknowledging that. Do you have jewelry on the altar too, Spirit Rock?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they love
Nice.
that. They're really happy with that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, that's so nice that they're, to come. I always think, when they tell us, who they're with, or they tell us where they are, like what it looks like, I always think that's such a gift, because that's what people always wonder, is like, I wonder where they are. I wonder if they found this person, or if they have my dogs, or if they haven't. I always think when they come in with that stuff, it's to put us at ease. It's to let us know they're fine. She's with Maria. They're fine. She's got the dogs. It's such a gift.
Yeah, it really is a gift. My dad and my stepmom came back so many times for me after they both passed, and they were always laughing and chatting. And my stepmom was a little bit conservative in the way she dressed, so she dressed well, but she would come in gold lame and
Say,
being
I'm
that.
letting it loose now.
I told my stepsisters about that once, and they were like, "My mom in gold lame?"
Oh, how funny. Paul asked if he can hear from his mom, Barbara. And he says, I came close to seeing my mom last week. Any message from my mom, Barbara?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Paul had a choking incident, and then he had a dream about it, and, they wouldn't open the door. The angels that were there by the door when he had the dream, they said, "Oh, you can't go yet."
Oh, interesting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I have a picture of her like dressed up with her holding her purse. And so I feel like it's like she's ready to go, or she's ready, to, and so this may be, um, almost like she's anticipating you guys connecting in some way. Or she was dressed to the nines and always had her purse with her. It could be symbolic, or it could be literal.
Yeah, she's carrying her purse kinda like, the Queen Mum did, right?
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
kind of in front of her. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like she's impeccably dressed
yeah,
and dressed up.
yeah, Paul, she's mentioning bugs, so, like, insects, but it could be Bugs Bunny, it could be bugs, it could be that she had a fear of them, or, a silly joke that you had between you. Oh, she was a showgirl,
Oh,
and yeah, she still got it.
oh
Uh,
my gosh.
yeah. Okay, something about the bugs, yeah.
Gosh, how funny. Hi, Kelly. How funny. I feel like she had a really like a contagious laugh. There's something about her laugh that was very people loved, and that made other people laugh. She had a very contagious laugh.
Yeah, now the bug has turned into an aunt or an aunt, he said, "Yes, going out." And, so I know that, you've got a lot of family around you, but, she might be signifying that she has one of your aunts on the other side, or her aunt, or it could be, somebody with you too.
She loved Elvis. Oh my gosh. She sounds like a character.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of aunts. Okay. And she's also saying matriarch, Paul. Was she the matriarch of the family, or do you feel like you're the matriarch? Because, you know, it doesn't matter if you're male or female to be the matriarch, really, to keep the family together. And it could be that she's such on the other side. Yeah, off and on you are. Okay, there she is.
Oh. I feel like, Paul, she's always giving you advice. And so when you have things when you're trying to figure out a solution or you're trying to think of an idea or something, I feel like you might be hearing her, because I feel like she is constantly like chipping in, like giving you advice or telling you to, you know, which direction to go. I feel like it almost feels like her voice and her, that she might reach you before your guides do. It's kind of, I feel like she's kind of like this, I need to tell him this, you know, kind of like, I know what he needs to do. So I feel like she's not in your guide team, but I feel like she's very much like, in a way, playing that part. Because I feel like she's up front in a way, but she's like, yeah, giving you advice and telling you which way to go and stuff. So you may hear her a lot more than you think you do.
Yeah. Oh, he says we have a lot to talk about, both. Yeah. And it feels like, Paul, was there something wrong with her throat? She's just pointing out her throat chakra to me. And it feels like there's a little lump there. So it could be that she just liked to talk a lot, but that's too. But she's showing me that like the big circle, and then there's oh, she had Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Oh.
I had a hard time speaking what she wanted to say, but you know now. So she doesn't have to worry about that anymore. So that you are so intuitive, Paul, is a huge boon to her, that she can come in. Yeah. They didn't think, but she did. The real her knew you at the end, honey. And she's just pointing out that there's a huge group on the other side. And then when you're ready, come over. But she said, next time you see that door, make sure I'm there. Because when it's time, I'll be there. So
Oh, that's neat. Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we could connect with her, Paul, for you. A lot of interesting ladies, right? All very different too,
right?
Today.
So much fun, so exciting, their energy.
Yeah. Okay, whoops, let me go down just a little bit. I'm sorry, I keep getting.
No, it's okay.
My thing keeps sticking, so okay. This is why it's great to have a moderator, because let's see. There we are.
Warrior girl. Warrior girl's being taking care of business for us.
So Jean just has a question. We can switch gears for just a second. She said that when she's, I don't know if you've seen her paintings, but they're so awesome. I had some here, but I took them down to just take with me to the UK. She did one of Lucy. Lucy passed away.
Lucy, it was amazing.
Yeah, so she's great, and she does pets, and she said, when I paint a person's beloved pet, what can I do better to infuse that painting with the essence of their beloved animal to bring joy? I think you do that, Jean. I really do. I think you capture the essence so well. But is there anything else you can do? You know what? I'm getting, and I don't know if you've ever tried this, Jean, but some psychometry. So if they have something they can send you, or even a picture of something, they can send you like a collar or their bedding or something like that. I think that might help. And you might be able to pick up almost like a deeper vibration of the pet, so that you kind of have it's almost like in layers. So when you see a picture, you're getting one layer, but when you see something they actually had, or if they could send you like a little piece of their blanket or something, I feel like that could add another layer. But what do you get, Teri?
I was getting the same thing.
Okay.
You had like a piece of a blanket or a little bit of hair, or it's something that they left, or even their ashes. Some of their ashes. I know we've got all our puppies' ashes out in the sunroom. So
Yeah, us too. So yeah.
and I would love to do that. So that would be really important. But Jean, it feels like you have such a connection with the animal spirits, and that the intention that you put in there is huge.
Yeah.
So it just feels like you've got a real connection to that.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you, Jean, for that question. We're almost at time here, so why don't we do just a couple more if you're up for it, Teri? Are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah, this is fun.
Okay, so here we have Julie H. Hello from Portland, Oregon, and happy Mother's Day. I'm a grandmother now, and my mother died when I was 7 years old. I've never felt her presence and often wonder about that and wonder about her. Okay. Julie, if you're here, do you have a first name for your mom? If not, it's okay. We can figure it out. But it's just helpful to connect quickly. I'm so sorry, Julie. It's always so, it is a contract thing, because my dad and my mother-in-law both lost one of their parents very, very young. And it shaped their whole life. It shaped everything, from that point on. It's so, I think it's such a sacred decision in a way, because it's so life-altering, But they were both very present people. They were both very much in the present, realizing that anyone could be gone at any time, so and we forget that. We don't live like that, really. We know that's true, but we don't live like that all the time. And they really did. They were very, very just awake, aware, present people.
What a gift.
Yeah.
To have from that.
Yeah. So I don't know if she's still here, but we'll just see if get her without a name. We'll just say Julie's mom, Julie H. Julie H.
Julie, she's bringing in another J name, and I think it's Jane. So I don't know if that's a sister of yours or a sister of hers. But she's just acknowledging that there was a Jane in your life too. And Julie, she's also like a lot of times spirit brings in a road for me, like a path, and like some paths are really straight and some paths have a lot of ups and downs, and yours goes around and around and around like an island almost. I mean, it's really beautiful.
So, and Julie, do you know that movie Heart and Souls? Have you ever seen that? With Robert Downey Jr.? He has these spirit guides that are with him, and they literally are like sitting in the bedroom with him, like through his whole life. They're kind of with him, and as a kid, he can see them, but as he grows up, they realize they're kind of holding him back, so they kind of disappear, you know, so that he can't see them anymore. And it's very traumatic. It's a really sad scene, actually, because he's getting older, but they're starting to like talk about him as like he needs to go into an asylum and he needs help and that kind of thing. So they kind of back up, so he's not seeing them anymore. But I feel that they're showing me that, or she's showing me that, and I feel like it's to tell you that that's how she was with you as a kid, like literally like right beside you. She really was very, very present and protective of you. And I think at a certain point, she felt like she should sort of back up. And that may be why you don't, I think you do feel her, but you don't know it's her. But but because you didn't have a very long time to get to know her energy when she was here. And that's usually when someone passes away, we're recognizing their energy. And I think because you were so young, you don't recognize it in the same way. But I feel like you probably have felt her and have felt her around. But she's showing me that. So I feel like she may have been very, very close to you and around you. And then at a certain point, sort of backed up and let you kind of, you know, almost and maybe thought she would hinder your growth in some way. So kind of backed up. But I don't think she ever stopped watching over you. But I feel like the first while while she was gone, she was like right next to you, right in the room with you, right with you. And as you got older, she kind of backed up, let you have your, you know, your experiences and your freedom and stuff. But she's not. To me, it feels like she's not stopped watching over you. So she has been very aware and around, but at kind of a distance. But I still think you may have felt her at different times, just not knowing it was her. She has a very calm energy to me. It's light and calm.
Right.
So there's a lightness to it.
Yeah, I'm very at peace. And so she was showing me, I'll show you, there was this island here, right here, and then we have like almost a bullseye. And this is how it started out, the two of you, right? And then as you grow older, it just kind of moved on. But she's always at the core. She always has that resonance. That's not the right word. What is it? Resonant.
Frequency, vibration.
Frequency. Thank you. That's better. Yeah, that's a better one. You have her lineage, and you guys have that, and it's like you inherited something from her. In that. So I don't know if it's the peace, Julie, but it feels like there's something that you're a lot alike.
I don't see her responding, so maybe she'll watch this later.
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, but so she has been around, Julie. I don't think that you maybe you don't recognize her, but her energy is it feels very almost ethereal. It feels very light, very calm. So anytime if you've had those moments where you have that like a calm come over you for no apparent reason, that's probably her coming in to help or assist in that way. That's neat. All right, and Gina.
Oh, hi, Gina.
My mom, Natalie, passed on February 24th, 2012. She was the kindest and best mom. Would love a message if there's time. Thank you. All right.
Gina, she's pointing out your picture there, your beautiful wedding picture, and just so proud. I mean, just it warms her heart that you have that there. I don't know if she was there in body, but she was definitely there.
So Gina, you're because I know that Gina lost her son, but her son is sitting behind her, and she keeps like referencing him, like look, he's here, and he keeps saying like, no, this is your thing. You'd go do this. This is your time. This is your thing. I don't want to eclipse this moment. So he's sitting behind her, and she just like is kind of like, see, he's here. And that she's very she's always taking care of you. She's like, your mom's not going to stop taking care of you, even if she's not here. She's still kind of, to me it feels like easing your suffering, or easing your if you're having a bad day or a hard time. It's like she shows up. And I'm sure you felt her, because she's a very strong energy, and a very nurturing. It's very momish, very, very mom-like.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a song, but I can't hear the words, but it's something about birds of a feather flock together. So it feels like that's something that you guys were, birds of a feather, and so is your son. She's also showing me a bed. So I don't know if sometimes she would lay down with you, or you would lay down with her, or it was your son. But okay, now she's saying, yeah, it was her son, your son, and she was right there.
Oh.
So she says, oh, Kim's so happy he is with her. It's been hard to feel her energy. She always adored Justin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's got him. And it's so funny because they're both such nice people. She's like, look, he's here. And he's like, nope, this is your moment. You go up there and talk. It's so weird with you, Gina, because I always see everything happening in your bedroom. And I don't know why that is. I keep getting, and so it must be, maybe that's where you feel like you can be yourself, or let your guard down, and kind of, if you cry, or if you're, or if you're just, you feel like you can kind of be whatever you are in that space, like it's a safe place, or a safe space. But I always see, I've seen your son there, but now I'm seeing your mother there too. And so maybe it's just a place that they, almost like a sanctuary in a way. So it's kind of like when you're there and you're by yourself, they know they can come in and kind of be with you and help you and whatever, So I don't know what that is, but my bedroom is where I do all my praying and meditating and crying too. Okay. So yeah, so they so just know that they're reciprocating by like showing up. So yeah, because I always see that with you. It's so weird.
Yeah, and they keep pointing out the bed too, Gina.
Yeah,
and just something about that bed. It's almost like it's a portal, not for anybody else, but just for like your guides and your probably when you're sleeping at night too. You guys are all together.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're in your dreams.
I'm sure it has something to do with resonance and frequency and all that kind of stuff, because if you're praying there and a lot of your feelings are there, and a lot of that, it may be just an easier place for them to come into, because all of that is already there. Right? Like almost like the frequency and the vibration is set up, and so they can just kind of slide right in. Yeah. But whatever you're doing, keep doing that, but also acknowledge them, because I feel like they're there whenever you're there and you're kind of thinking about them, or praying, or crying, or whatever. I feel like they just show up. They're just there. So acknowledge them, and you may get a stronger feel of them when you do. That's always for anybody, just by the way, when you acknowledge things, especially when it's out loud, it's almost like it gives it permission to come closer. And I think it's partly us opening up to it and partly them moving into that space. But if you want a way to be able to feel people more or bring them in more, do that. Acknowledge. I can feel you. I can feel that you're here. It's almost like it. I don't know what it's doing, but it's like I think it makes you open up more, but it also gives them permission almost to kind of come in closer. Do you get that too, Teri?
Yeah, 100%. So I've got a portal over my bed, and I have one in my shower too, my bathroom. But it's restorative, and where I feel really safe, and I do my meditations and I call everybody in. But my mom also always said, give them jobs when they're on the other side, because it's an honor for them to be able to do things for us.
Oh,
So um,
nice.
yeah, so I'm just kind of here. They're just kind of pointing that out for you, Gina, that if you want anything from your mom, like, "Hey, mom, I need help with this," or your son, "Hey, can you show me? Can you spare a dime?" And find a dime on the ground
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, just to make your heart happy.
And she's very nurturing and loving, and uh, like I said, very mom, very, very, very loving and nurturing and kind. Um, and it's funny because there's something a little bit almost old fashioned about her in a way. Maybe she was more traditional or something, but there's something about her that's so like polite and kind of ladylike and stuff. So, but it almost seems old fashioned in a way. But she's lovely, lovely energy.
Yeah. Gina, was she from another country, the old country? Because it kind of feels like that, almost Merlin or energy, or the Knights of the Round Table and the Ladies of the Lake, kind of
Mm.
almost.
Oh,
Um,
that's interesting.
Kind of ethereal and calm and peaceful, and priestess energy.
And it's so funny because her son is so different. He's kind of more like a burst of energy, like he'll just, he's here. And he feels more like almost like teacher-y, like he's trying to help you with your spirituality. But mom feels like she's all just love. She's trying to just comfort you and nurture you and help you get through things and that kind of feeling. So they do have their in a way, Teri, they kind of do have their job, but I think you're right. Yeah, put them to work, have them help you.
Yeah.
Um,
My mom had a best
yeah.
friend, Mary Starr, and she was a really well-known psychic in Kansas City when I was growing up. And anyway, she used to give us family readings and stuff. But at my mom's funeral, she came up to me and she said, "Teri, your mom just told me when you feel something warm in the small of your back, that's me." And that's me patting you on the back. So just be aware of that, Gina. You might feel it on your cheek or your back or your hand, but it's so touching when that happens, literally.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. That's so neat.
yeah.
I just saw this one, and I thought this might be just a good one to talk about real quick, and then we can end our session. But it's been so fun to be with you all today. So, so fun. And thank you, Teri, for doing this on Mother's Day. I really appreciate it.
I'm honored. It's always fun to read with you and for the group here. So
Oh,
I love it.
thank you.
Really.
Thank you so much. So Wendy says, please ask my mother, Joyce, how do I get out of this crushing depression and find joy again?
Okay, this is going to sound weird, Wendy, but do you have a bird, or did she have birds? And it could also be an airplane, because my drawing's not that good. But but are you thinking about taking a trip? Um, because she's all around it. birds, one of my teachers used to talk about birds coming in. Oh, Daddy was a
Mhm.
pilot in the
A
Air Force.
pilot in the Air Force. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like you can ask him for help too, since she brought him up right away. But I was going to say, I used to have this teacher, Shambahabi, and she always talked about birds being messengers from God, that it was the only animal that could fly from the heavens to the earth. And that when you see a bird, um, acknowledge them because it's usually one of your guides or there's a message there. And so I'm always watching for the birds. And I know that my grandmother comes in as a red cardinal, and so does my late husband. And, and lately there have been so many big birds around, like the hawks, bringing big messages for everybody. So,
Oh, I love that. And Wendy, that makes sense because, oh, mother shows up at my feeder as a cardinal. So there you go, right? And
bingo.
daddy is a blue jay. So yeah, and Wendy, so often when your vibration is really low, when you're in depression or when you're feeling really bad, or like if you're in grief, they will show up in things outside of us. So birds, butterflies, they'll show up in ways that kind of break through, because they can't reach us when we're at such a low vibration. When we connect with them, we have to kind of raise up a little and they kind of lower a little. And that's how it happens. But if you're really down in the dumps, then it's really hard for them to get messages to you or make you feel them or anything. So they will use stuff outside of you. And that's exactly what I was going to say to Wendy, but then you brought up birds and everything else. So, oh, my brother's a hawk. And see, so yeah, so they're there, Wendy, because I do feel like you're surrounded by people. It's just that they're at a different frequency. You can't see them. When I saw I had a vision. I saw my dad in my bedroom when that happened, and I kind of lost the being able to see him. It was like he literally just faded because it was my focus that was seeing him. He's just there. He's not like he's showing up and then he's disappearing. He's just there. He's not going anywhere. It's me who's losing the focus or losing the frequency to be able to see him. But I assure you, Wendy, you have people all around you, and they're showing up as things outside of you to make sure you don't miss it. Because when you're depressed or down or in grief, you're not going to feel them in the way that you can when you raise your vibration. So really work, Wendy, and I know it's hard during depression because it feels like you're sinking down into a well. I have a history of depression. My family has a history of depression, and it's so difficult. But if you can find one tiny little thing that kind of makes you happy, even just tiny, build on that. A tiny little thing. If you love chocolate, if you love chocolate, the way it would look is, you have your chocolate every day or whatever, and then you go and, try this place and see what their hot chocolate's like. And maybe you read about a chocolate factory that's nearby, right? You just kind of expand. And my guides always say, nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. So any little thing that even remotely gives you a little bit of joy right now, just take that and start to expand it, because you're not alone. I know that it feels like that because you can't see people right next to you, but you're not alone. You just need to raise your vibration, and you'll start to feel them and hear them and things like that. So what were you going to say, Teri?
I love that. I was just going to say, I love that. And I feel like, I can feel your heart, Wendy, and it's heavy. And one thing that helped me a lot, first off, is time. And I did a lot of studying and a lot of meditating. But the second thing was, or whatever, maybe it should be the first, is I welcomed the grief as a friend. And I just said, okay, grief, I've got a chair for you in my sunroom. And I would go in there with a blanket and a cup of tea, and I would take care of my grief. And sometimes it would be a movie for grief. But then when I'd start feeling it, I could acknowledge it. And once you acknowledge what you're feeling, it changes your vibration around it. It changes its vibration, that feeling, the resonance of it.
I love that idea. That's a great idea.
Well,
That's wonderful.
I have many opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And the older you get, that is the reality, that you lose more people, and expectedly and unexpectedly, so it's yeah, this game of life is not easy. It's not easy. It can be really rough, but we're all here for each other too, Wendy. So I'm glad you found this community, and you know that we're here. So I know they are here. My family is very psychic. I talk to them all the time. Great, and great. And so Wendy, if you just keep doing that and keep moving into that energy, you'll lift out of the depression. You will. It's just a frequency. Depression is just a frequency, and if you can think of it that way, and not something that has a hold on you, it's just kind of where you're at. That you can raise it and be at a different place, but it does take that kind of looking at it from the outside and deciding to be to bring in things that to purposefully and very intentionally bring in things that make you happy and give you joy, and things you love to do. And I know when you have depression, nothing sounds fun, nothing sounds good, but start small and work your way out. Okay?
Yeah. It's there's that fight or flight or freeze, right? And the freeze is the hardest one to get out of, I thought, because when you're in grief and you're kind of frozen. But if you know you're frozen, that kind of changes the plan there.
Right. Yeah, that awareness, the light of awareness.
Yeah. Oh, she's an artist, so you're very sensitive. Yeah.
So use your art as a an outlet for your grief, and let it, or your sadness, your depression, let it come out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are feeling that, Wendy, right now. I think a lot of people are feeling, I think we're a nation kind of in PTSD or really in a what's it called, trauma. We're a nation that's gone through trauma, and I think a lot of people are feeling very low and stuff, right? Especially seeing the scenes that we're seeing around the country and around the world. It's a lot. It really is a lot. So stick with just yourself, and work on that, and let everything else kind of go for the moment, and work on what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what you love. Focus on that, and let things kind of, leave things out there for a little while you work on your own energy, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Tina. Yeah, it's a lot going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the energies are weird. The energies are, some days they will feel very heavy, and I'll feel like exhausted, like I can't even put one foot out in front of the other. And then other days they'll feel a little lighter and give you a little bit of breathing space. It's really weird though. Very up and down.
Yeah. You're
well,
welcome.
Thank you so much, Teri. So what is anything happening on your channels? Anything coming up, or any services that you offer that you want to tell people about?
I just had a healing. I just had a healing seminar thing that I did, a workshop, and I'm getting ready to do an intuitive one. And I am, we have meditations Monday through Friday. So, Wendy, I want to invite you or anybody else here that wants to come. It's at 8:11 Central, and the whole group talks. And if you're having a rotten day, you just lay it out there, and everybody, hugs all around and taking care of each other. And then we meditate. And then we have some other things coming up too, with lots of readings and stuff. But anyway.
Great. And I'll put everything, I haven't put it there yet, but I'll put all of Teri's information below in the We did other ones together, and her information's there, but I'll move it over. I forgot to do that, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
That's how organized I am. But thank you, Teri, so much. And yeah, her channel is great. Go and check it out. Holding Your Space. And I have a few spots in my the class, the New Earth class. We're reading Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth.
I went in.
Oh, okay. I'll send you. I'll send you the little thing that tells about it. But it's starting on Monday. It's just for an hour, and we just go through the notes of the chapter that I put together, and you get those, and you get the recordings, and then we just have a discussion. People ask questions, and talk about different whatever the subject is at the time. But it's 10 chapters, so it's 10 weeks. You can come and go, or you can do all 10 weeks. But everything is recorded, and notes and everything are sent out after the class. So either way, if you're traveling, because I know summer's kind of a weird time to do it, but yeah, so it's 10 weeks, an hour every Monday, and in the evening, that's it.
Nice. Well, Kim's the best teacher. You guys already know that, I'm sure, but I took so many classes from, so yeah. And I always, you teach and you make it easy to learn and fun to learn, and calming. So, there's not, there's a lot of presence there, I guess is what I want to say.
Oh, thank you, Teri. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's something I love to do. So I'm happy to do it. So, well, thank you, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody's mom, but I know that, your moms. Moms are moms, right? They're going to be looking out for you, especially on Mother's Day. They know we miss them and want them to be here. So they'll be with you. All right, so everyone take care, and thank you, Teri, and I will see you next Sunday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.